Good evening. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome to our main news. Here are the top stories making headlines. Citizens First leader Harry KALABA in a near punch-up by UPND CADRES in NSAMA district. Police in KABWE charged BOWMAN LUSAMBO with unlawful assembly. LUSAKA residents condemned the selling of a 2-day-old baby. In international news, Zimbabwe's wildlife in crisis due to extreme drought. And in sports news, Copper Queen's squad preferred up after injury concerns. My name is Sylvia Zulu. Do join me with the details after this.
Water is life. Each drop counts and each must be cherished. Our tried and tested product meets all international standards. With our smart drip technology, we aim to deliver precision irrigation designed to reduce blockage and wastage, ensuring a high yield. RenGlow, your smart irrigation partner.
And now the news in detail. Some LUSAKA residents have condemned the selling of a 2-day-old baby by a 28-year-old woman of John Lane compound. The Zambia police in LUSAKA Wednesday arrested the mother of John Lane, 28-year-old Mary Moitwa, for selling her baby to a KABWE-based lady who was also apprehended. Reacting to the incident, Francis Likashi of Lusaka's Mutendere compound has urged law enforcement agencies to ensure that the suspect receives maximum punishment to deter would-be offenders from the barbaric act. Advocacy for Child Justice has described the incidents as an act against basic human rights and a breach of morals in society, calling on women to desist from such behavior.
Illegal possession of babies in the country has many characterized theft of infants, usually in hospitals. Wednesday, however, the country witnessed a bizarre occurrence where police arrested a Lusaka-based woman of John Lane for allegedly cashing out on her 2-day-old baby to a KABWE-based woman who was also picked up in the act. Lusaka residents have since condemned the act, urging young women to desist from such behavior.
Munga mugula chitongora mugula bread. It's better enda kuja pamene social welfare pamene amasungira vana vajakuti ni government izi wanakuziva ene mwapangana na wajamii nasunga wajavana wagulako mwana uja mwana uzambo msunga mwamtendera zakala ni mwana wako na mwana zakuzi watendiwe mai wake ndiwe tate wake
uja mwana nala kwa kutenganira mwana kugulisa na 4 libe kwa mnenga mpereke so chili kuli makashana mamene mu kapena munimvera pamene nikamba pano chili kuli imwe kuti bane muchita muleke ngati nikugona namona lekani kuchira kuti muziona nga mizimu ya mwana amene simnatenge naye chimo chili chonse.
Advocacy for Child Justice through Communications Officer David Ricando has described the incident as a violation of basic human rights which should not be condoned.
We wish to commend the law enforcement agencies for moving in swiftly to ensure that the perpetrators involved in this heinous act are brought to book. The prompt response by the law enforcement actually sends out a message to would-be offenders. We would like to also just urge parents and guardians to take advantage of initiatives that have been put in place by the government to ensure that livelihoods are improved.
In Zambia, Chapter 54 of the Constitution Adoption Act governs the transfer and ownership of children from biological parents. For Camnet TV News, Afias Kaptula, Lusaka.
Lusaka-based famous Pentecostal preacher John Nondwe, commonly known as John General, aged 51, has been arrested and detained in police custody on allegations of rape. Zambia police spokesperson Ray Hamonga says Wednesday at around 09 hours, the pastor called Esther Tembo Nyau, aged 26, of a known house number Kahale area, that he would be visiting for planned miscarriage prayers, and at around 13 hours, he arrived at the house together with another unknown man. Mr. Hamonga says the suspects then told Nyau that he wanted to check in all the rooms as part of the prayers, but when he reached the bedroom, forced himself on the woman and had sex with her as he threatened to shoot her if she refused. He says the pastor was caught in the act by her husband, Pearson Tembo, and ran out naked, jumping the hall fence, leaving all his clothes, a cell phone, and a motor vehicle. Mr. Hamonga says a warning and caution statement for the alleged offense of rape has since been recorded on Mr. Nundwe.
Brief facts of the matter are that the woman has been having miscarriages every time she conceives. She then visited the same John General to pray for her and told her that the prayers are to be done at their home. Yesterday at around 9 hours, the pastor called the complainant that he would be visiting them for the same prayers, and at around 13 hours he arrived at their house together with another unknown man. He then told her that he wanted to check in all the rooms as part of the prayers. When he reached the bedroom, he forced himself on the woman and had sex with her as he threatened to shoot her if she refused. When all this was happening, the other man was waiting in the sitting room. At around 13:30 hours, the husband, the complainant, Pearson Tembo, age 33, came and found a man in the sitting room. He then greeted him and decided to proceed to the bedroom, where he found the pastor naked, having sex with his wife. He then went outside and locked the gate. After seeing this, the pastor ran outside naked and managed to jump the wall fence, leaving all his clothes, a cell phone, a motor vehicle, Chrysler registration number BCD 372, and then the other man as well ran away.
The Director of Public Prosecution, Gilbert Piri, has not yet issued consent to prosecute Opposition Socialist Party Youth Chairman Gabriel Banda, who is facing one count of instigating a riot at the University of Zambia in September 2023. Lawyer to the accused, Simon Mwila, confirmed the status after the matter failed to take Thursday, 23rd November 2023. Meanwhile, Socialist Party National Youth spokesperson Stanley Mubasa has condemned the alleged shooting of a 15-year-old boy in Kankoyo area in Mufulira by an alleged Zambia National Service officer.
Trial in the matter where former University of Zambia Student Union President Gabriel Banda is facing an offense of one count of inciting violence in the recent Unza riot that took place in September 2023 and left a trail of destruction has failed to take off. This follows after the legal defense team was informed that the Director of Public Prosecution, Gilbert Piri, has not issued consent to prosecute the matter. Allegations are that Gabriel Banda, 33, popularly known as Special Counsel, was arrested on 28 September 2023 and charged with one count of proposing violence or breaches of law of assemblies contrary to Section 91A, B, C of the Penal Code, on grounds that on 18 September 2023, without lawful excuse to the University of Zambia, Assembly did make a statement to cause an act calculated to lead destruction to any property, an offense he denies committing. Lawyer to the accused, Simon Mwila, confirmed the status.
This morning we appeared for continuing a trial in the matter where Gabriel is allegedly was arrested for the offense of proposing violence. However, the said matter has failed to take off this afternoon for the fact that the DPP has not yet issued any consent. So the matter has since been adjourned to the 4th of December for mention, 4th of January, 2024, for mention, and commencement of trial will be on the 14th and the 14th of February 2024.
Meanwhile, Opposition Socialist Party Youth spokesperson Stanley Mubasa has condemned the shooting of a 15-year-old boy in Kankoyo area in Mufulira by an alleged Zambia National Service officer and demands that justice prevails on the matter.
Killing of a young boy in Mufulira who was murdered at the hands of ZNS. This whole case has been emanated from issues relating to expensive minimum prices and the inavailability of minimum prices. So we want to demand justice for the young boy who was killed It is very wrong for those enforcing those measures to resort to using live ammunition. And now to see the same names be included in the speeches of President Hichilema every time he talks about those that have been murdered. We have a case today of Alan Sikalango, who was killed in Mukushi, allegedly tortured by police officers. We have got a young boy killed. So we want President Hichilema to speak more about this issue.
Nelson Zulu for Camnet News, Lusaka.
The Lusaka Magistrate Court has set 28 November 2023 as a date for judgment in a matter where social media vlogger Simon Mwewa is facing a charge of malicious damage to property, an offense he denies committing. Appearing before Lusaka Magistrate Fine Mayumbu for continuation of trial, the court cautioned the accused for missing court appearance 2 times.
Social media vlogger and Lusaka businessman Simon Chitambala Mwewa has battled it out at Lusaka Magistrate Court as Magistrate Fine Mayambu has set Tuesday 28 November 2023 as day of judgment in a matter is facing 1 count of malicious damage to property, an offense he denies committing. During the court proceeding, Magistrate Mayambu also warned the non-vlogger against his trend of missing court appearances on 31st October and 17 November 2023. In his response, Mr. Mwewa apologized to the court that he mixed up the dates, hence his absence. Earlier, a police detective, Sergeant James Lungu, 43, at Lusaka City Market Police Post, testified that on 2nd June 2023, he received a report of the accused deflating tires of his vehicles and left without saying anything. Sergeant Detective Lungu indicates that investigations revealed that a sharp instrument was allegedly used to deflate the tires valued at 4,600 kwacha. The police officer also told the court that the vlogger, when summoned to the police post, explained that he only deflated tires of a vehicle which was along Simon Mwewa Lane and not on Kalushabwaya Road. Magistrate Mayambu made a quick perusal of the court records made by the state and established a prima facie and placed Mr. Mwewa, who had no legal representation on defense but opted to remain silent. A prima facie in both civil and criminal law is used to mean that upon initial examination, a legal claim has sufficient evidence to proceed to trial or judgment. While walking on the corridors of Lusaka Magistrate Court, Mr. Mwewa's vlogging skills could not chase the journalist from capturing him.
Guys, I'm about to take up an offering is what I am. I'm serious. So, you guys are vloggers. You know that this technically you're vloggers. Technically. You know. Guys, you look like zombies. Talk to me at least.
Nelson Zulu for Camnet News, Lusaka.
Trial in a matter in which former Lusaka Province Minister BOWMAN LUSAMBO is jointly charged with his wife Nancy Manasseh has failed to take off at the Lusaka Magistrate Court following his alleged detention in KABWE Central Province. In this matter, Mr. LUSAMBO and his wife pleaded not guilty to 10 counts of corrupt acquisition of public property, possession of property suspected of being proceeds of crime, tax evasion, and conspiracy to defraud. But when the matter came up for continued trial Thursday, 23 November 2023, the accused persons and sureties were not before court. Magistrate Fides Hamaundu adjourned the matter to 12 December 2023 on the grounds that the court is aware of the absence of the accused caused by a police detention. Meanwhile, police in Central Province have arrested and jointly charged BOWMAN LUSAMBO, aged 47, of Chamba Valley in Lusaka, alongside 4 other individuals of KABWE for the offense of unlawful assembly. Mr. Hamonga says the offense is alleged to have been committed on November 2nd, 2023 at KABWE Town Center along the Great North Road in KABWE District. He said all the suspects have been released on police bond and will appear in court soon. On the fateful day, Mr. LUSAMBO, who is also the Patriotic Front PF mobilization chairperson, made a stop in KABWE on the claim that he wanted to buy a pie. Then he was flanked by a crowd.
Police in KABWE of Central Province have today formally jointly arrested and charged BOWMAN LUSAMBO, age 47, of Chamba Valley in Lusaka, Saidi Chibwana, age 52, of Industrial Area in KABWE, Matthews Changwe, age 39, of Kasanda Mine Area in KABWE, Martin Sumfukwe, age 44, of Makululu Compound in KABWE, and Billy Sichamba, age 52, of Wacha in KABWE for the offense of unlawful assembly, contrary to Section 74 and 75 of the Penal Code Act, Chapter 37 of the Laws of Zambia. The offense is alleged to have been committed on the 2nd of November 2023 at KABWE Town Center along the Great North Road in KABWE District. All the suspects have been released on police bond.
Citizens First CF in Tuareg, led by Harry KALABA, has clashed with the United Party for National Development, UPND in Tuareg, led by Ministers Elvis Nkandu and Elias Mulenga, in the ongoing Mumbeshi Ward by-election campaigns in NSAMA District, Northern Province. In the videos shared with Camnet TV, Mr. Mulenga could be seen trying to restore order in a close discussion with Mr. KALABA as Mr. Nkandu stood by. In another clip, other CF members could be seen being whisked away from the fracas as some UPND cadres stopped those who were capturing the fracas.
I'm a journalist. I'm a journalist.
Economist Yusuf Dodia says there is a need to focus on diversifying the economy if the Zambian kwacha is to gain value against the United States dollars. The central bank has within a month increased the statutory reserve ratio twice, from 14.5% to 17% effective November 27, 2023, for both local and foreign currency deposits, including government and vostro accounts. Mr. Dodia says the move by the central bank, if left to work in isolation, will yield to nothing.
Zambia's economy is highly dependent on mining and agriculture, but despite its abundant resources, growth has been insufficient to lift its young and growing population from poverty. The contractions in the mining and energy sectors have restrained economic growth, as evidenced by the continuous depreciation of the local currency. In trying to boost the kwacha's morale as it battles the US dollar, the Bank of Zambia has within the month of November increased the statutory reserve ratio twice, from 11.5% to 14%, then to 17%, effective November 27, 2023, for both local and foreign currency deposits, including government and vostro accounts. However, New Heritage Party leader Chishala Kateka wonders why the central bank keeps on using the same policy decisions that have in the past failed to address the problem.
The concern by Bank of Zambia is understandable. However, it is the measures that are being taken that we as New Heritage Party are concerned with, because the government wants to grow this economy, but the measures they are putting in place are contractionary. They contract the economy. So what they are doing is actually going to hurt the nation more than what they think or they hope, because they've done this before. and it hasn't yielded results. So what makes them think doing it even more will yield the result?
Meanwhile, economist Yusuf Dodia also says it is only production that can revive the kwacha and the economy at large.
One of the big challenges we have is that Zambia's productivity is not registered in the Zambian economy. Very little of it is registered in the Zambian economy. What we are seeing about Zambia's productivity is the bakeries, the meat and farming produce which is sold domestically. Those are the ones we are recording. We are not recording the exports. The export earnings coming from the export of those products must come into a Zambian bank. That way we recapitalize our economy, we make sure there's enough dollars for anybody who wants to buy dollars is available, and it strengthens the kwacha, brings down inflation.
The Zambian kwacha has continued struggling against the US dollar, which on Thursday, November 23rd, was selling at 23 kwacha, 63 ngwe. Vincent Piri for Camnet TV News, Lusaka.
We take our first set of commercials. Do join me with more news after the break.
Potatoes, the unsung heroes of flavor. From crispy chips to creamy mash, potatoes are the versatile superstars of your kitchen. Grown with love by our dedicated workforce drawn from around the community of KALABA. Savenda Farm's commitment is to see to it that we have potatoes that are grown right, healthy, big and tasty. For that quick fix or big celebration or that meal that brings family together, top chefs rely on the Savenda potato to create culinary masterpieces. And for others, it's that icebreaker to a delightful conversation. So, embrace the magic of Savenda potatoes. They're not just a side dish, they're the heart and soul of your kitchen. Savenda, save nations, develop Africa.
On Monday, 27th November 2023, on National Matters, join Pastor Moses Chiluba with his guest, Madam Edith Nawakwi, FDD President.
We have resources. Why are we poor? We are poor because we like to govern from the center. The challenge is that Zambia is mapped as mineral rich, but we don't know.
As they discuss, is Zambia headed in the right direction socially, economic, and politically? Watch and subscribe to Camnet Television Network on DSTV channel 274, GoTV channel 25, Topstar channel 106.
Invite others to participate through phoning on Skype, Zoom, WhatsApp, and text messages.
Camnet Television, your #1 community station in Zambia. This is your channel of choice. Camnet TV.
Not just another channel.
Introducing Darren B, a touch of class. Are you looking for the perfect place to elevate your style and glam up? Look no further. Darren B Touch of Class is your one-stop destination for hair and makeup transformation. Walk into Darren B and walk out feeling like a star. Your transformation starts here. Call us on 0772 870 588 or WhatsApp on 0972 049 213 to book your appointment today. Payments are made via mobile money or point-of-sale machine. Strictly no cash payments. We are located along Mossy Road in Ibex Hill, 4th close on the left after Kalikiliki Police Post. At Darren B, we pride ourselves on our team of dedicated and trained personnel ready to pamper both women and children. Darren B is open 7 days a week from 0720 hours to 1740 hours. From trendy hairstyles and stylish makeovers to flawless makeup, we do it all. Darren B, a touch of class.
Thank you so much for staying with us. We now continue with more news. Minister of Technology and Science, Felix Mutati, has challenged the financial service providers in Zambia to adapt to the new technological advancements, failure to which they risk shutting down. Speaking at the Banking and Finance Conference being held in Lusaka Thursday, Mr. Mutati says technology does not kill but creates new opportunities, and that the banks should either adapt or die. Mr. Mutati has also challenged the financial service providers to ensure that they design products that allow customers to also benefit from the profits that they make. Meanwhile, Bankers Association of Zambia chairperson Mizinga Melu says the sector is cognizant of the fact that digital payments have transformed financial transactions and opened a significant opportunity for both businesses and customers.
The financial service providers in Zambia have convened for a two-day banking and financial conference in Lusaka in a bid to discuss solutions on how to better their businesses in the fast-growing digital age. Minister of Technology and Science Felix Mutati, who was guest of honor at the event, has challenged the financial sector to adapt to the new technological advancements and ensure they design services that have a customer's touch if they are to remain relevant in the future, adding that technology does not kill but creates new opportunities.
So colleagues and bankers, my message is very simple. Adapt or die. Technology doesn't kill. It creates opportunities, new opportunities. So the way you are dancing today will have to be reshaped to tomorrow. Do things differently. Don't worry about scaling down the numbers because new jobs and opportunities will be created to do different things.
Meanwhile, Bankers Association of Zambia chairperson Mizinga Melu says digital payments have transformed financial transactions and opened a significant opportunity for both businesses and customers.
The bank population is now not only assessed by how many clients have have accounts, but it's assessed by how many clients are able to do banking even from mobile phones. So that innovation has really evolved. And what we are seeing when we talk about banking of tomorrow is now we're having new players. We're having the fintechs now coming, because now it's not just banks and MNOs, but even the fintechs are coming in. Anyone can start a payment platform and they become the bank of tomorrow.
The Zambia Institute of Banking and Financial Services President Moses Shuko says the paradigm has now shifted and most customers now prefer quick and easy accessible services, hence the need for financial service providers to find ways of adapting to the change.
This younger generation of Zambians is extremely tech savvy, and they expect all services they consume to be technologically advanced. In addition to this, in the era of globalization, this tech-savvy generation of customers, who already make up a large portion of the current clientele, is increasingly interconnected through social media and other platforms.
The conference is being held under the theme Inside Tomorrow's Bank, Accessing Growth Drivers Post-COVID-19. Is technology the answer? Prudence Chota reporting for Camnet TV News.
Agriculture experts have predicted reduced productivity from the smallholder farmers, which they say will be exacerbated by climate change and counterfeit fertilizers some farmers might have bought. The Zambia Compulsory Standards Agency recently quarantined bags of various fertilizer brands amidst reports of illegal repackaging and mixing with unknown substances. Agriculture researcher Oliver Bulaya and Small Farmers Development Agency founder Boyd Momwe said this is of great concern as it threatens the country's food security.
Zambians were glued to their TVs and radios on Friday, September 29th to follow the 2024 National Budget presentation, Police in Lusaka and Eighth Day Scam, in which some unscrupulous people were repackaging fertilizer, mixing it with other substances. 2 days later, 10 more people were arrested on the Copper Belt over similar allegations. This caught the attention of the Zambia Compulsory Standards Agency, which quarantined bags of various fertilizer brands amidst reports of illegal repackaging and mixing with unknown substances. On Wednesday, November 22, 2023, Zambia Compulsory Standards Agency Head of Communications, Brian Hatioka, disclosed that preliminary results indicate that the fertilizer was indeed compromised.
So these bags which were quarantined were sent to the lab for analysis. And as I speak today, the results are out for some of the samples for the same products. And the preliminary results indicate that the quality of some bags was actually
Agriculture expert and researcher Dr. Oliver Blyam says this is of great concern and may impact the country's food security.
It is unfortunate, for our farmers, to buy defective commodities of fertilizer, from some unscrupulous agro dealers, because this trend, affects in terms of farmers' productivity levels. As you are aware, for quite a long time, our smallholder farmers have been producing quite minimal yield, per unit area, which is not good for them as farming as business. And this also affects, the country food insecurity.
Meanwhile, Small Farmers Development Agency founder Boyd Mobwe is equally worried that farmers have continued being exploited.
It's very unfortunate that such scam cases where farmers are being deceived happen in this country. Zambia, despite the large still developing, and we expect that through agriculture, the economy of this country will be enhanced or will be developed. Yeah, but that economic development can only take place once farmers are really working hard and they're producing enough for the country and for export. Now, how do they produce enough for the country if there are such cases where farmers are being cheated?
For farmers who purchased the commodity before the scam was unearthed, theirs can only be a prayer that they are not victims of the scam. All in all, there's need to heighten surveillance and monitoring if not only farmers' interests are protected but also the well-being of the environment. Vincent Piri for Camnet TV News, Lusaka.
Western Province Deputy Permanent Secretary Richard Mulwanda has urged the people in the province to practice good fishing methods to avoid the depletion of fish in water bodies. Officiating at the World Fisheries Day, which falls on 21st November annually, Mr. Mulwanda said the Western Province depends on fish, hence the need to preserve it. Meanwhile, Barote Royal Establishment Prime Minister Ngambela Mukela Manyondo urged the government to ban the use of bad fishing nets.
World Fisheries Day is celebrated annually on 21st November to highlight the importance of preserving, sustaining fish management, and Mungu District joined the rest of the world in commemorating the day. Speaking during the event, Western Province Deputy Permanent Secretary Richard Mulwanda assured the people in the province about the government his commitment towards preserving fish species by enforcing the fish ban.
The World Fisheries Day is an event celebrated globally to raise awareness on the critical importance of a healthy water ecosystem and ensure the sustainability of the fisheries resource. Government of the Republic of Zambia is committed to the management and development of the Zambezi River, that is the upper Zambezi fishery, to ensure that we have enough fish there, and when it is fish ban, we allow fish to breed. And for that reason, we need to take all necessary steps to promote this activity, and one of them is ensuring that we conserve our fish.
And representing other partners, Action Aid Zambia, who were the main sponsor of the commemoration, Western Province Hub Coordinator Mubita Muyunda has this to say.
As Action Aid, we are fully engaged in supplementing government efforts in development through equitable distribution of resources and mitigation of poverty in communities among women and the young people. Our concern is that fishers are not currently aware of all the laws and regulation, some of which are aware, for example, fishing ban, of course. They know the benefits, but they are more interested in earning money or providing for their immediate needs rather than thinking of the future. Unsustainable exploitation of fish using wrong fishing gears has always undervalued the importance of fishing ban.
Meanwhile, the Balozi Royal Establishment Prime Minister Ngambira Manyando and Mungo District Commissioner Morgan Akabeswa called on the people in the province to refrain from practicing the bad fishing methods.
On its tributaries. You are aware the Balozi Royal Establishment in all its places has fisheries in donors. And we urge the communities to cooperate with them as they assist us and guide us in the way we should catch our fish.
Upon you, assist using the mosquito nets. Use the proper fishing nets that have been gazetted to be used.
For Camnet News, Museba Kabira reporting in Mungu, Western Province.
This is the main news on Camnet TV. We now take our final break. To join me with the rest of the news after this.
On Monday, 27th November 2023, on National Matters, join Pastor Moses Chiluba with his guest, Madam Edith Nawakwi, FDD President.
We have resources. Why are we poor? We are poor because we like to govern from the center. The challenge is that Zambia is mapped as mineral rich, but we don't know.
As they discuss, is Zambia headed in the right direction socially, economic, and politically? Watch and subscribe to Camnet Television Network on DSTV channel 274, GoTV channel 25, Topstar channel 106.
Invite others to participate through phoning on Skype, Zoom, WhatsApp, and text messages.
Camnet Television, your #1 community station in Zambia. This is your channel of choice. Camnet TV.
Not just another channel.
Water is life. Each drop counts, and each must be cherished. Our tried and tested product meets all international standards. With our smart drip technology, we aim to deliver precision irrigation designed to reduce blockage and wastage, ensuring a high yield. RenGlow, your smart irrigation partner.
Thank you so much for still staying with us. And now in international news, in a remote southeastern corner of Zimbabwe, about 140 volunteers slept in shifts through a 24-hour annual wildlife census, a valuable indicator of the status of the Southern African region's wildlife resources during a worrying regional drought. Meanwhile, a national day of mourning declared by Congolese authorities is observed on Wednesday in the Republic of Congo in memory of the 31 youths who died in a stampede on Monday evening in Brazzaville during an army recruitment operation. We monitored African news.
Gonarezu National Park, known as the Place of Elephants, saw positive effects from recent rains. In this remote part of Zimbabwe, 140 volunteers conducted an annual wildlife census amid a regional drought, revealing the impacts of climate change on the nation's wildlife.
The issue of climate change needs to be taken seriously because the irregular patterns and the shifting of seasons. For example, we are almost in mid-November. We are yet to receive, the season is yet to start. So these things definitely affect our animals, because you'd see that the animals will be moving long distances in search of water. And while they are moving, they'll be, of course, getting into communities, clashing with villagers. In some cases, it's fatal.
The Zimbabwe Parks and Wildlife Management Authority installed 100 solar-powered boreholes to address the crisis. Climate change affects national parks across Africa, compelling animals to travel longer distances for resources.
Up until the onset of the rain season, it means there's less water in the park and less food. So the animals naturally they move. But as soon as the rains come, the animals obviously they'll get more food, and it means the movements also into communities will be less, minimizing the clashes between communities and animals.
Increasing human-animal conflict near national parks raises concerns. Nevertheless, tourists are always happy to witness the animals in their natural habitats.
It was quite an experience because we've never done it before. And they gave us Salima Gorge to count. We sat in the height. There was quite a bit of birds because it's a very rocky area. So beautiful, beautiful. Quite a few birds. We only saw clip Springer bokkies, that's all.
As African leaders reflect on the aftermath of the recent African Climate Summit and brace for COP28 in Dubai next week, Africa remains at the forefront of the climate crises, grappling with dual challenges of droughts and floods.
The World Health Organization (WHO) said Wednesday it had made an official request to China for detailed information on an increase in respiratory illnesses and reported clusters of pneumonia in children. At a press conference on November 13th, Chinese authorities from the National Health Commission reported an increase in incidence of respiratory diseases in China. Chinese authorities attributed this increase to the lifting of COVID-19 restrictions and the circulation of known pathogens such as influenza, mycoplasma pneumoniae, respiratory syncytial virus, RSV, and SARS-CoV-2, the virus that caused COVID-19 some 3 years ago. On November 21st, Media and Public Disease Surveillance System PROMED reported clusters of undiagnosed pneumonia in children in northern China. The WHO said it was unclear if PROMED's report was related to the authorities' press conference and that it was seeking clarification. China's capital, Beijing, located in the north of the country, is currently experiencing a cold snap, with temperatures expected to plummet to well below zero by Friday, state media said.
A national day of mourning declared by Congolese authorities is observed on Wednesday in the Republic of Congo in memory of 31 youths who died in a stampede on Monday evening in Brazzaville during an army recruitment operation. Bars and other entertainment venues are also observing a national mourning. However, road traffic in the city was normal. On Tuesday evening, the Congolese government spokesperson announced that 31 people had died and 145 others were injured in the stampede that occurred on Monday night at the Michael Onano Stadium in Brazzaville. According to security personnel at the site, the young recruitment candidates numbered in thousands. Some forced the gates while others jumped over the wall. Congolese human rights organizations and opposition political representatives have pointed fingers at the government's responsibility in this tragedy.
And now in sports news, the Zambia women national team technical bench has made 2 injury-instigated inclusions after Sarah Jere and NLS Piri withdrew from the women camp ahead of next week's Women's Africa Cup of Nations WAFCON second round first leg qualifier against Angola in Luanda. ZISD women's striker Namasi Kulungowe and her Zescondola girls counterpart Charity Mubanga have been called up to the senior team following injuries sustained by Sarah Jere and NLS Piri during league matches. Lungowe and Mubanga have scored 8 goals and 6 goals respectively in the league this season. Another player called up by the technical bench is Zanaco ladies defender Thelma Chela. 21 players comprising 18 locals and 3 foreign-based players are in camp. Captain Gabriel Banda, Rachel Kundananji, Rachel Nachula, Priska Chilufya, Misozi Zulu and Helen Chanda will join the team directly in Luanda. The second leg will be played on 5th December 2023 at Levi Mwanawasa Stadium in Dola. Winner of our 2 legs will qualify for the 15th edition of the WAFCON that will be held in Morocco in 2024. That's it for our main news, but before I go, let's take a look at the stories that are making headlines. Citizens First leader Harry KALABA in a near punch-up by UPND cadres in NSAMA district. Police in KABWE charged BOWMAN LUSAMBO with unlawful assembly. LUSAKA residents condemned the selling of a 2-day-old baby. In international news, Zimbabwe's wildlife in crisis due to extreme drought. And in sports news, Copper Queen squad be fed up after injury concerns. We now look at our Camnet verse for the day, coming from the book of Proverbs 10, verse 16. The wages of the righteous is life, but the earnings of the wicked are sin and death. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Sylvia Zulu. On behalf of the entire Camnet News production crew, it's good night and God bless you.